Perception of the world and human relations in the digital age. Knowing how younger generation access different types of knowledge is one of the main goals of professionals involved in education and in the study of human development. Nowadays, we all interact with two parallel realities, one that is physical and tangible, and another that is virtual and mainly visual. This results in an evolution of learning channels that interact with the information underlying our adaptations and our knowledge. The brain has a corporeal nature and cannot think without a motor function. All that we experience has a corporeal nature and is driven by a purpose. Even the mere act of thinking entails a muscular activity. From the day we were born, coordinated motor schemes are constantly stimulated, induced, and consolidated by means of activities that are instrumental to our adaptation and contribute to form our memories and our implicit learning. Accordingly, wrong habits can heavily affect the way in which the nervous system adapts, and based on the neuroplasticity principle of use it or lose it, they can even reduce its ability to do so. Since childhood, our primary experiences are made through motor learning processes occurring in a concrete reality, laying the foundation for the evolution of our complex cognitive activity, which will later become capable of abstraction. The physical and virtual realities have different features that affect our learning and interaction modalities in a different way. In the physical reality, our adaptation to the environment is facilitated by the attention function, which is a filter we developed through evolution that enable us to carefully select the several environmental data. This promotes a self-regulation through an activation-inhibition system that modulates our behavior by means of praxis and manipulative activities. Orderly sequences of motor actions are supplemented by tactile, visual, and proprioceptive activities, enabling us to interact with the environment and the objects. All of this leads to the adaptation that improves our knowledge and our quality of life. Our motor orientation is facilitated by the broad vision of our visual perceptual system, which is made up of a central vision and a peripheral one. The latter enable us to perceive environmental stimuli on either side of the visual field, thus enhancing our ability to explore and acquire information. These abilities were achieved by Homo sapiens over millions of years ago and enabled them to develop different skills, including elaborate ones such as handwriting. They were also beneficial from the chemical point of view because they promoted the release of substances supporting the body and the brain activity. But to what extent are our behaviors affected by a prolonged exposure to virtual reality? Virtual reality provides unlimited and unconditional access to a plethora of information and allows us to reach out to physically distant people with whom we can chat, but also build fictitious relationships totally devoid of sensory and motor experiences. As a result, we have an altered perception of the relationship and the information related to it, which is decontextualized and not always reliable or free risks. Virtual reality does not require any effort in terms of self-control, because during the interaction people don't need to move much and their behaviors are less self-regulated. With the push of a button, you can authorize something that might require more thoughtful consideration, and you can express your appreciation of something without being totally sure or properly informed about it. This results in an oversimplification of thinking, with vague intentions that in the physical world would necessarily be more reasoned. Furthermore, waiting times are extremely short in virtual interaction, leading to a constant nutritional support to the reward circuits located in the front lobe. But what are the effects produced by physical interactions, and what are the ones generated by intense virtual interaction? In physical interactions, motor skills are regularly practiced together with perception channels that engage with the environment. With time, this experience generates and consolidates learning, benefiting the nervous system metabolism, brain oxygenation, and memory. It also promotes self-esteem, which is strictly connected with the pursuit of goals in the physical world, where communication and sharing are perceived as completely corporeal experiences. Physical and corporeal interactions produce a more comprehensive message, resulting in a clear perception of social and emotional relationships. Our brain evolves through our eyes. They vehiculate emotions and learning, since brain plasticity is triggered by changes perceived by the eyes. But cerebral and mental activities can't be understood if separated from the rest of the body. Education cannot ignore the evolutionary axiom stating that the constant practice of sensory and motor function can't but determine its structure. Thank you for watching.